Welcome to the Z Zone, where random facts rule everything from mind blowing history to science, tech, pop culture, and the stuff you never knew you needed to know. If it's strange, surprising, or straight up unbelievable, it lives right here. Fast facts, big surprises. This is Z Zone, where curiosity never clocks out. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for coming out to another episode of Everything According to Z. And if you haven't heard by now, or if you don't know by now, I am Z, your host of Everything According to Z. As you see right over my shoulder, the Z Zone. All right. So first and foremost, welcome back. Thank you for all my followers. Thank y'all to all the fans. Thank you for all the comments and the likes and the shares. Now, a few housekeeping rules. Let's get this straight. Please, if you have not done so, if you have not done these three things, please stop and go do these three things. 1, subscribe. 2, like this video. 3, turn on notifications so you are not left out of the Z Zone. Now, let me tell you here, we got some good information for you tonight. The best way for me to say this to you is sit back, grab your popcorn, and buckle up. Because everything I'm going to give you tonight, I'm pretty sure you did not know or you was not aware. But as G.I. Joe said, knowing is half the battle. So myself, your host, Z, is going to put you in the know. Okay. Bear with me tonight. We have a lot of facts to run through. Your first fact for the night. I'm going to give you a food fact. Now, we all love a Pringle. The potato chips. Pringles potato chips in the can. You know what I'm talking about. We all love the Pringles potato chips. But, have you ever took two Pringles and put them together and made a duck bill out of them? I know I have. So don't tell me you have not done that. I know you done. I know you took two Pringles chips and made a duck bill out of them. Don't tell me you ain't done that, because I guarantee you made a duck bill and made the sound quack quack. Yeah, probably even walked around like a duck for a second. I know you did. I know you did, because I did it. And if I didn't did it, you watch this show, I can almost guarantee you didn't did it. But that's enough about that. The Pringle, 1967. Why was a Pringle made? Well, there's a chemist named Frederick Burr, B-A-U-R, Burr. We'll go with Frederick Burr. 1967. He opens a bag of chips. He's like, man, there's too many damn crumbs in this bag of chips. Now, I know you all have felt that. Open a bag up and it's half air and half crumbs. Well, he's a chemist. He's like, you know what? We can fix that problem. And he proceeds to fix that problem by making a mold out of the leftover mashed potatoes chips stuff. So let me say this right. The leftover mashed potato flakes that they use to make chips, he made a mold out of it. He practiced on it for a while and came up with the Pringles shape. So now that was his way of solving the half bag of air and crumbs of your lace or your other chips that you have out there. So he said, hey, take this mold, duplicate it, fabricate it, patent it. We have our Pringle and put it in a can. 1967, the Pringle was born. You know what I'm saying? You love the sour cream and onions, the cheddar cheese Pringles, or for me, the regular Pringles. Come on. You always had the Pringles and you love them. Quack, quack. You know how to do that. Okay. Here's our next one. Whew. Now, we all know mistakes can lead to success. We all know mistakes can also lead to no success. Well, this one from our fans who love chocolate, sweets, cakes, brownies. Let me tell you where the brownie came from and how it was made. Well, if you're a baker, you know there's certain ingredients that go into making a cake, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. A French baker. Was he French? Uh, I'm trying to think. Was he French or was he? It does. I have to look at it again, but it was an English baker. It was an English baker. It was also an English baker was serving a dinner party and went to make chocolate cake, but he forgot one ingredient in the cake recipe: baking powder. Okay, let's stop right there. He was not using baking powder to cut up and make up street pharmaceuticals. He actually ran out of baking powder. He didn't run out. He forgot it. He simply forgot to add baking powder to his cake recipe. So he's serving his dinner, making a chocolate cake, and forgot the baking powder. Well, he cooks it up, puts it in the oven, pulls it out, and it didn't rise. Well, he didn't scrap it. He said, hold on. I'm gonna cut it up in squares and serve it. Well, because it didn't rise, it stayed moist and dense, and he just cut in squares, and hence, thus the brownie was formed. Everybody loved it. I mean, it was great. So that's how your brownie came about. Because of one simple mistake of forgetting one ingredient, you now had your global phenomenon of a brownie. What year you ask? I'll come back to that and tell you what year that happened. Or if you know what year that happened, put it in the comments. Leave in the comments what year the brownie was invented. Let me see if you're right or wrong. Okay. Here's another one. Picture this. 1904. This wasn't so much of a failure as is in this guy did not calculate how much he was going to sell of this product. But, if you don't do your math, you run out of things. So in 1904, at the World Fair, the ice cream vendor ran out of bowls to serve ice cream. The little dishes, little dishes that you ice cream and serve everybody. Well, he ran out. Well, okay. You're asking me what fact is this? So what? That the ice cream vendor ran out of ice cream at the World Fair in 1904. Well, just pump your brakes a minute. I'm gonna tell you what it was. This is where the waffle cone came from. You heard me right. That nice, fluffy, it's not fluffy, but that nice brown, crispy waffle cone you put your ice cream in. It came about because, again, the ice cream vendor in 1904 at the World Fair ran out of the little dishes. So, good thing for him, he was parked next to a waffle maker. So the waffle maker saw that he ran out of dishes and said, hey, look, you know what? I got an idea. Let's take this waffle, let's put it into a cone shape, and you put your ice cream in there and serve it that way. And therefore, hence, your waffle cone. Hey, I'm only reporting facts to you. But that's kind of brilliant to be conveniently parked next to a waffle maker, and you run out of dishes. Hmm. Go figure. Okay, so we discussed Pringles. We've discussed brownies. We discussed ice cream waffle cones. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now we'll stay in the food category. Let's talk about a nut, a very expensive nut. Nope, get your mind out the damn gutter, y'all. We ain't talking about that kind of nut. Y'all just nasty. Get your mind out the gutter. This is a family show here. Don't do that to me. We're talking about the macadamia nut, the royalty of nuts. Okay, the macadamia. It is said. Now I want to make sure I get this right for you. It is said that the macadamia nut, pound for pound, is more expensive than a brand new Hummer. So if you take a Hummer apart, take the brand new Hummer, take it all apart, and put it on a scale, pound for pound, macadamia nuts are more expensive than a brand new Hummer. I'm telling you now. Yeah, I'm telling you now. Macadamia nuts are the way to go. They taste pretty good too. But if you know how much an average Hummer weighs, leave that in the comments. Okay? So find out how much the average Hummer weighs, pound wise. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. I know, but I want to see if you know. Okay? Okay. Now let's move on. Let's move on to a little something different. Now let's say let's see where we're gonna go with this. Where y'all want to go next? Oh, let's talk about some animals, okay? Now, I do not know what animals have to do with politics, but I'm going to tell you right now that in 1959, there was an animal that was elected to city council by a landslide victory. Okay. Oh, okay. Stop. Just stop. 1959. There was one animal that was actually elected to the city council of a certain place by a landslide victory. Okay. I'm going to tell you what it was. 1959 in Sao Paulo, the vote Brazil. Sao Paulo, Brazil, 1959. The people are so fed up. I mean, you got to be really fed up with your representatives in your country to vote in the animal. But not a dog, not a cat, not a turtle, not a bird, not a bear, not a frog, not a snake, not a raccoon, not a possum, not a beaver, but a rhinoceros. I mean, really? You are so fed up with your government that 100,000 people voted for this rhinoceros to become the city official of Sao Paulo, Brazil. What's his name, you ask? Caco. No, not coconut. No. Get your minds out the gutter now. Family show here. Cacareco. I can't pronounce it, but the rhinoceros, his name was Cacareco. He's a four-toed rhinoceros, and he won the city council spot by a landslide victory in 1959 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Now, what you guys about that? Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, if a rhino can win, you can win. Keep that in mind. Okay. So on this show, we love to discuss inventions, and we love to talk about how things were made and when it was made and why it came about. This next one, mm, this next one's a real doozy. You talking about making money? Okay, yeah. The old saying is go out there and make that money. Like you literally have to make money. Well, I guarantee you, I know who knows how to make money. I know who knows how to make money. And I'm gonna tell you who it was. Hold on to your seats for this one right here, y'all. Hold on now. Hold on now. Let me tell y'all. Just hold on right there. Hold on right now. Let me tell you something. A dentist literally printed his own money. Legally printed his own money. How he do that? Well, this dude invented cotton candy. You heard it here first. Cotton candy was invented by a dentist. This man literally printed his own money. Who was this dude? I'm going to tell you. Picture this 1897. Dentist William Morrison. And he had a partner, John C. Wharton. So, again, 1897. Picture now. 1897. Dentist William Morrison and his counterpart, John C. Wharton, invented a machine spun candy called cotton candy. But peep this. It wasn't called cotton candy at first. No. It was called fairy floss. They're dentists. You don't get it? Floss. Floss your teeth. Yeah, fairy floss. Now we call it cotton candy. Made by a dentist. That man printed his own money. Should be ashamed. You can't make no money. Print your own money. They did. I'm just saying, why can't you? Legally, though. Legally, it's a family show. Legally make your own money. Okay, let's move on. I got a whole lot more. Now, I love me a good adult beverage. Old fashioned's more my taste. I love me a good old fashioned with some Woodford Reserves. Hey, Woodford, if you hear this, the people who make Woodford Reserves, I'm giving you a shout out. So cut a check. By the way, speaking of sponsorships, my new tie brought to you by Big Daddy Racing Inc. Thank you, Big Daddy Racing, for the new tie. I got plenty more ties coming from. The ties you've seen in the past all came to you by a Better Butter Cookie. If you want a Better Butter Cookie, go on Facebook, look up a Better Butter Cookie. The best you ever find in your life. I'm telling you right now. So all my ties are brought to you by one, a Better Butter Cookie. Facebook, you look it up. And Big Daddy Racing. Thank you for the ties. Thank you. I love my ties. Don't you like my ties? They be so snazzy. Okay, let's get back to this these facts now. I love me a good old fashioned drink, Woodford Reserves, cut a check. But peep this though. I love me a good story about some Russians and vodka. Oh, here we go again. First, Russians take vodka as payment. No, they didn't take payments. They made payments with vodka. Well, did you know? Picture this. May 9th, 1945. Russia ran out of vodka. Good Lord. Doomsday happened. May 9th, 1945, Russia ran out of vodka. Why they ran out of vodka, you say? celebrating the end of World War II. Man, do they know how to party or what? If your whole entire country run out of vodka celebrating the end of World War II, sign me up for that. I want to be there. I want to be at that party. So let me get me. So let's go back more back into this. May 9th, 1945, Russia ran out of vodka, celebrating in the World War II. The Soviet Union announced Germany surrendered, and everybody took to the streets. Everybody, everybody in the club getting tipsy. They got tipsy in the streets, not the club though. Everybody got tipsy. Parties erupted all across Moscow. The celebration was so intense that the entire city ran out of vodka for 22 hours in Russia. No vodka. But I didn't get an invite. Damn, that's a good party. We missed one there, y'all. We missed one there. Hey, if you was there for the party, leave a comment in the section. If you was there in Russia and Moscow in 1945 when Moscow ran out of vodka, please leave a message in the chat. I want to talk to you and let me know what it's like. All right. Let's get. I got a few more. Hang in there, y'all. Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Your barbershop, your local barbershop. Did you know that back in the day, the barbershops had a red and white pole on the outside that went around and around and around and around? You know, good old fashioned peppermint stick looking thing that went around and around, just round and around, red and white. Do you know why they had that though? I'll wait. If you know why the barbershops in the old days had that pillar outside their store, put in the comments. But I'm going to tell you. That's because back in the day, if it wasn't a life-threatening surgery, the surgeons didn't want to deal with you. Nah, surgeons were uppity back then. They were uppity surgeons. So, okay. Well, let me tell you a story. Let me dig into this. Did you know that? Well, the barbers were something like also to nurses or to hospital physicians. So here's what it was: bloodletting. Bloodletting is where the doctors would cut your arm and put a leech on there to suck out all the bad blood and any poisons you had. So leeching, bloodletting, how you want to say it. But again, that was like beneath the surgeons. So they said, go see your local barber. He can do it for you. Can you imagine sitting down to get a fade and lined up and also saying, hey, I need to get leached? I'm just saying. You know, multi-purpose businesses back then, y'all. They had multi-purpose businesses. Not only could you get a lineup and a sharp razor fade, get your razor, your shave on with a hot razor, you can get leached. You get your bad blood out your system. But again, barbers were considered doctors back then for some reason, so they put the little red and white little spinning thing outside. That's why it was there. No other reason why. So, I digress to say we have a few more. Please hang in there. Now, these get good. These next ones get good. This one, y'all gonna love this one. Have you ever heard a good your mama joke? Or your mama so big, blah blah blah. Your mama so big. Oh, your mama so ugly. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Picture this: 1500 BCE. 1500 BCE, the first recorded your mama joke. You heard it here. In 1500 BC, the first yo mama joke was recorded. Now, where's it come from? What was it? I know y'all want to know. These folks was checking These folks were checking in 1500 BC. So that tells me history always repeats itself. So let's get okay. Babylon. Picture this. Babylon, 1500, 1500 BCE, the first Yo Mama joke. Well, what was a joke? Z. Well, okay, I'm getting there. Well, the joke was written inside of a clay dish. Not only did this person talk about your mama, he engraved it for people to see years. This man still roasting this man to this day. Like that's a mama joke. You still get roasted by your mama to this day. Well, the clay pot was kind of destroyed, pieces missing, but the joke loosely referred to something about uh your mama so how do they say it? How do they say it? How do they say it? So the translation from what they found in Arcadian dialect, it kind of came out to be of your mother is the one who has intercourse with her. I mean, you fill in the blanks, but the who, the what, the why, it's not really there because they found this pot broken up. But it was cracking jokes. It says what they translated so far is of your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her blank blank. But still, your mama been getting cracked on for a long time. Don't play with it. Your mama just ain't new. 1500 BCE, they checked you, sophisticated wise. Of your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her. Like, come on, I mean, you cracking like your mama's so big she sat on a quarter. It may change. Damn it. I said it. You heard it. Well, whatever. Now, two more. We get out of here. Two more. Bear with me. Bear with me. If you have a pet, I know you love your pets. You love your animals. They're like kids. Oh, that's my child. Oh, that's my grandchild. Oh, I love them. That's my little snuggers, whatever you want to call your pet. It's a pet. But did you know that in medieval times in Europe, that animals could be put on trial? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Medieval Europe, animals could be arrested and put on trial. So, let me tell you a story about one. There was a pig named Herman. I think his name was Herman. Loosely translated, a pig named Herman in Europe was put on trial. And well, first of all, he was arrested and then put on trial. What did he do? Bad pork, fat back wasn't good. I don't know, but well, let me tell you what I do know what he did. I know what he did. I know what he did. Let me tell you what he did. He wandered onto someone else's land and caused property damage. This pig, not only did he wander onto somebody's land and cause property damage, he attacked children. Now, folks don't play by their kids. Now, I'm trying to tell you, folks don't play by their kids. Well, that pig Harmon, if that's what his name was, they didn't really say, but I'm giving him a name. Harmon the pig in Europe in medieval times got arrested for trespassing and assaulting kids and was put on trial for that. So be careful with your pets. They can get arrested and put on trial. All right. Last one. Whew. I've covered the shortest war of 35 seconds, a dispute. I covered the longest war of 335 years. I covered the Emu War. Well, I was not there, but I brought you information of those wars. The shortest war, the longest war, the Emu War. Well, how about this right here? The War of the Buckets. You heard me correctly. The War of Bucket. What the hell? What kind of bucket was this that two towns went to war over? Well, picture this: 1325. Oh Lord, you know it's not here. You know it was not here in the USA because we wasn't even around then. This was all overseas somewhere. I'm gonna tell you where it was. You know, our great friends, the Italians. I love y'all dearly. Don't get it twisted. I love me some Italians. They're my family. But picture this: 1325, Italy, Bologna, and Modena. They're at war over a bucket. And that bucket still exists to this day in Modena. Why were they fighting? Because the people of Bologna stole the bucket from Medina. Thousands died in this battle. I mean, over a bucket. You died over a wooden bucket. 1,000 people, thousands, thousands of people died over this bucket in Italy in 1325. Stop the violence. Stop the hate over petty stuff. Good Lord. Darn people. All right. As I always say, good night. Hope you enjoyed your time in the Z Zone. Take care.